Previously on MDA.
How's the leg?
Unbelievably itchy.
The first scratch after it comes off was better than sex, according to Dimitri.
Who?
My ex. But then again, most things were better than sex, according to him. And will we be seeing you back at the hospital sometime?
That might take a bit longer.
Do you find Wendy Rossi guilty or not guilty on the charge of manslaughter?
We find the accused not guilty.
What are you going to do when this is all over?
I just applied to work with MDA Sans Frontières.
How's your new protégé performing? To your satisfaction, I trust?
Must have been hard for you finding a new Caitlin. I mean, she's good, mate. She's really, really good.
Yeah, I don't know like you do.
This is wrong, Happy. Medicine gets some of the smartest brains in the country, but we still can't teach them how to grow a conscience. You do not just hope something will go away.
I was thinking of talking to Dr. Leckie about it today. We can talk about this more over the weekend.
But you're only just getting things back on track now.
I know, and it's safe here and everything, but it's something that I've always aimed for.
The work that you do here is just as important as MDA Sans Frontières. What would it mean for us?
Look, Jamie, to be honest, sometimes I wonder if what we've got's healthy.
What?
Don't get me wrong, relationships evolve. I know that. I just think we need to sit down and talk about it.
Okay, look, well, what time are you home tonight?
I don't know. It's going to be late. A young guy was brought in, MVA. It's not good. I gotta go.
Yeah. You want me to get something for dinner?
Yeah, that'd be great. All right. See you later.
I expect it'll go for a couple of hours, but you don't actually have to be there for the whole time.
I'd like to be.
Well, that's up to you. Now, when Caitlin gets back, I'd like to speak to her briefly. The mediation is booked in at 3:30. I'm not anticipating any difficulties at this stage, so... Okay.
Sister Donna?
This is Caitlin King.
Hello.
She'll be looking after the case with me. Can you excuse us for a few
Sure.
minutes? Thanks.
Dr. Eckhart mistook Diane Pascoe's biopsy report for Sister Donna's.
That's right.
I've just got them muddled up.
None of us are perfect.
Bloody hell.
So he therefore told Diane Pascoe that her test was clear when in fact she had cancer, and performed an urgent mastectomy on Sister Donna Pascoe, who was perfectly healthy.
And pathology?
Unequivocally shows no sign of cancer. He just got the wrong woman. He did apologise.
Oh, well, that makes it all right then.
We're in the enviable position of having a doctor who concedes and a sympathetic patient who isn't looking for personal gain.
So what does she want to do with the settlement then?
You're going to like this one. Whatever compensation she receives is going to the village cooperative in the Philippines, where she's finishing her coursework for her doctorate.
Wow.
Quiet.
Well, it's got to settle tonight then, doesn't it?
I'd imagine so. Plus, we do seem to have God on our side for this one.
Oh, I thought you always assumed that.
It's funny, she's not how I imagine a nun to look.
I think the Lyle stockings and habits went out a while ago.
How do you make a mistake like that? I still just don't get it.
There were two Miss D. Pascoes
Who both had breast biopsies.
within a week of each other. Sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it?
It's unbelievable.
Are you heading up to emergency now?
Yeah, break heal well.
Oh, yeah, it's just a bit tired now.
Or you could come in and I could look at it for you there.
Into emergency.
We're massively understaffed, even with me there. And now that you're mobile, it could help. That's all, okay? It helped me.
Well, you might see me.
Hope so.
Bye, Hap.
Oh, no, that's okay. We will soldier on, just as long as no one else gets the impression that I sanction early marks.
She's a 32-year-old woman who's hypotensive and in pulmonary edema, but her ECG looks normal.
When did she arrive?
Well, the ambulance brought her in about 10 minutes ago. She collapsed at home, very short of breath, BP 77 and falling, pulse 130.
Just try to stay calm, okay? There's abnormal ST changes everywhere. Has she had chest pain?
No.
Have you listened to her heart? Just take it easy.
I can hear a third heart sound. BP now?
75.
Saturations?
90%.
Hands are cold.
Carl? Excuse me, sir, you...
I'm her husband, Ray Johnson.
Ray, I'm Dr. Davis.
Is it just exhaustion?
I need to ask you a few questions, all right? Has your wife had any viral infections or a cold?
Been a bit short of breath.
Any pregnancies?
We were twins a month ago, and we've got a 2-year-old.
I think it's heart failure. In fact, I think it's postpartum cardiomyopathy, in which case we have to change management, put in a central line and start her on inotropes, okay? Can we put her on a CPAP mask, please, ASAP? I'm going to go find a cardiologist for a cardiac echo, right? You stay with her. Well, she's got clinical and radiological features of acute heart failure. Pulmonary edema 70 systolic and dropping, and ECG changes suggesting cardiomyopathy.
She sounds like a renal failure.
I've just been told she's also showing signs of renal failure. Yep, low urine output. Okay. Thanks, Mark.
What's going on?
I'm sorry, Ray. Everything indicates that it is her heart.
I thought it was a breathing.
We're getting a cardiologist over here as soon as we can. Dr. Mark Matthews, he's excellent. I just want you to stay as calm as you possibly can and try and keep her calm, and we'll know something very soon, all right?
Look, Happy, would it be right if I head off? They're pretty strapped at emergency, and I thought I might be able to make myself useful.
As distinct from what you do here, for Christ's sake. Anyone would think it was Friday. Go. You're just daydreaming anyway, so go.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry.
How are things going with you and Wendy?
Fine.
Jamison, if you ever feel the need for a man-to-man, heart-to-heart chat, you probably don't think I know much about these kind of things, but please don't hesitate. Just feel free and say the word.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Wise man.
Oh, and I didn't get to the end of this.
It's okay, leave it.
Well, actually, I thought Layla might be able to read it.
Read what?
Happy just needs a summary of this so he can do a cost estimate.
Sure.
Is that all right?
Yep. Okay, go.
Yes, severe global hyperkinesia. The heart's clearly dilated.
All consistent with cardiomyopathy.
She hasn't responded to inotropes.
We're looking at a transplant, aren't we?
We could try an IAB pump. She'll need that, of course, before we can take her over to Prince Edward. And they can do the tissue testing there. We've got a blood type?
Yep, B positive.
Good. I'll be in the cath lab.
Someone please tell me what's going on?
Well, Mr. Johnson, your wife appears to be suffering from what we call a postpartum cardiomyopathy. That's a very rare form of heart failure. She's in very good hands.
Postpartum cardiomyopathy usually affects women after giving birth, Ray, particularly to twins. Now, unfortunately, because Coral is not responding to treatment, the situation is very critical.
She's gonna die.
It's possible that a heart transplant could save her.
A heart transplant?
Yeah. But we're not a transplant hospital. Prince Edward is the only one in the city that is, so we're going to try and wait to see if we can get an ICU bed available before we can send her over there, okay?
Okay.
Then I'll have to get your consent before we can perform a transplant.
Okay.
But finally, and this is where it gets tricky, a heart actually has to become available. Jamie.
Hi. Now, don't expect too much, OK? But I made it through the front door and I'm all right.
Good. In that case, I need you. Can you stay with the patient in 3 while I organise a move to Prince Edward?
OK, what's he got? Something minor, low grade?
It's a woman, 32 years old, postpartum cardiomyopathy.
Oh, shit. They'll be moving her to the Prince Edward pretty soon. You have kids at home?
Yeah. 3. Mum's looking after them. She was tired. We both were. It was just normal. Still up 6 times a night with the twins.
You all right?
No, mate.
It's probably time we started heading to the battlefield, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to take the car. Do you want to grab a coffee, maybe, on the way?
Actually, I have to do something first, so I thought I'd meet you there.
Do something?
That's right. I won't be late.
OK.
Ray, I need you to understand that because Coral's breathing is so shallow and her heart is so damaged, we're going to have to sedate her now so that we can ventilate her. But after we do that, she will be asleep. But she won't be able to communicate with you again until they find her another heart, which is possible, but not likely.
I'll tell the kids how much you love them. Your mum's with them now. I left them watching a video with Brett. I made up formula for the twins. Everyone's fine. Happy. You just hang in there.
Any improvements? Mr. Johnson, we'll be taking your wife over to the cath lab to put in an intra-aortic pump. You spoken to Lecky?
If we send her over to the ICU at Prince Edward, they'll put her straight onto the emergency list. Dr. Lecky's the cardiothoracic surgeon over there who actually does the transplants, right? And I've spoken to medical retrieval. They're ready to drive her over as soon as the IA pump's ready.
Good. Let's get a move on then.
Jamie, will you travel with her? I think it'll help Ray to have one of us there with them. And I'll meet you as soon as my shift's done. Ray, I'll see you over at Prince Edward. Jamie will stay with you.
Yep.
The claim is for pain and suffering and reduced function leading to loss of income and loss of enjoyment of life.
Because the broken arm didn't set properly.
Yeah, that's right. He was trying to pin it using a new technique and the drill bit broke.
Not in her arm. Well, accidents can happen. It doesn't necessarily mean bad practice.
3 times.
What, he broke 3 drill bits in her arm, one after the other? You wouldn't even pass Year 10 woodwork with that level of competence.
College of Surgeons, however, is a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, kettle of idiots.
I'll put in a call to see if there are any sort of extenuating circumstances.
Like what? Parkinson's disease? No, I don't think so. Put $20,000 on it, and if he says it was a drill's fault, just double it.
Got just about everything, and I think I'm okay to settle in the 1 to 150 range.
Is that the figure Mark put on it?
Yeah, it's a fairly unique case, though.
There are no degrees of uniqueness, Miss McKay.
It's just that I have no idea what they'll ask for. I mean, if they wheel out some good arguments and say $500,000, should we head to court?
Head to court against a servant of the Lord mutilated for no good reason?
Should we settle for something near to whatever they ask for?
I'll tell you what, I'll come with you. I won't butt in, I just want to be there to authorise the amount.
Sure.
Because if we're forced to settle for $500,000 or thereabouts, I just want to say that I heard the debate and I authorised the figure.
Great, that's cool.
I've got to say, I do not enjoy being over a barrel.
You are being held there by a nun. She might not know how to take advantage of your position.
Never underestimate the celibate.
I don't know how long we talked last night, but I never would have had you picked as a lawyer.
I disguise myself well.
Well, that's what I mean. Open, honest, interesting lawyer. I normally don't associate the two things.
Oh.
Maybe the Law Institute can hire a PR firm, correct some public misconceptions.
Look, I'm sorry dinner's out. You just can't tell with mediation. Sometimes the most cut and dried ones can go on forever.
That's fine.
How about the weekend?
What about tonight?
After mediation?
Well, I'd offer you breakfast, but I don't want you thinking I'm too easy, so... Supper?
It'll be late. I'll be tired and fractious.
Oh, but you won't be.
OK. I'll call.
Great. I should go.
Likewise. Too late.
Caitlin.
Richard. Justin Harris. Richard Savage.
Justin.
Sorry to meet and run. Business.
It's fine.
Later.
Yeah.
Justin?
Yes. I would have introduced him as George, but the fact is his name's Justin. I've spoken to Sister Donna. She's going to meet us at the mediation centre.
Who is Justin?
Not that it's any of your business.
It's just a casual inquiry from a colleague and friend.
I met him last night.
At the photo exhibition. Good for you.
So, Ella, St Albans needs a new director of emergency services, and we've been canvassing a few opinions regarding who we ought to approach.
Well, probably Kevin Grant, Northern, or Kath Dunn. Everyone likes
No, I mean, both their names have been mentioned, but they're not the name on the top of the list.
Quite frankly, things have been fractionally behind the 8 ball in administration.
Fractionally?
Well, as you know, we're losing doctors all the time because we're failing them on several levels. It's not just administration. There's a need for troubleshooting on a much larger scale. Liaising with the Hospital Complaints Board. And we also need someone who can, we hope, overhaul all aspects of the emergency medical training program. Obviously, your background at MDA would be a huge advantage in that regard. Quite apart from your skill as a clinician. Everyone knows you're more than up to it. Believe me, Ella, I know how important your work at MDA has been over the last few years. But we're hoping you might see this as something new, a next step. And we need you.
You know, Happy, if we wanted to be proactive about containing the damage, we could be bastards about this.
Well, if there were proper legal grounds on which to justify bastardry, yeah, sure.
There are.
Amanda, there is a woman in there who's had her left breast surgically removed by one of our members' complete and utter stuff-ups.
I know, conceded.
Well, what are you getting at?
All I'm saying is, if you tell me my job is to allow my compassion for the victim of an horrendous mistake to outweigh my legal training, I won't fight instructions. But if my job is to work within the law and thus save as much money as I can for MDA, just say the word.
Ready when you are, Bill.
Thanks, Joanne. One moment. All you could possibly do is challenge on the grounds for compensation.
Exactly. She is a nun, after all.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Amanda, that's
legal
bastardry.
Well, given what we've heard so far, ladies and gentlemen, if no one speaks with forked tongue, it sounds as though none of the facts of the case are actually in dispute.
It was an inexcusable mistake made by a doctor resulting in permanent injury.
Resulting in an irreversible outcome.
You don't think what Sister Donna suffered was an injury?
Just being a pedant, Caitlin.
Can I ask what you're seeking, please, Richard?
For permanent disfigurement, loss of self-esteem, loss of confidence leading to a loss of enjoyment of life, 300,000 plus specials, plus costs.
Can we ask for some details on how the loss of a breast actually restricts Sister Donna's enjoyment of life?
Pardon?
Well, the loss of confidence and loss of self-esteem usually relates to how others react to you. Potential suitors, boyfriends, husbands, lovers. Particularly if part of your enjoyment of life is intertwined with the degree to which others find you physically attractive. I don't think a nun's enjoyment of life is related to any of these things, is it? In fact, I don't see how the loss of a breast should affect a nun's life at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. What happened was truly appalling. But you only have a legal right to money if it is compensating a clear loss of opportunity, or if it is returning your life to the position it held prior to the negligence in question.
Can you not imagine how
can
she's
a doctor make this sort of mistake and not actually pay a sentence?
She has taken a vow of celibacy. She has no relationship. She won't have children, no need to suckle. She doesn't wear clothes which reveal her body form. So to what position would compensation be returning her?
This is bullshit.
It's the law.
Do you agree with this, Bill?
I bet Ella wouldn't.
It's Amanda's case, Richard, but as a matter of jurisprudence, you know that she's right.
Oh, is Dr. Rossi still the registrar on duty?
Yes, she is.
Pupils fixed and dilated. No response to tracheal suction. CAT scan there.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, what are you doing here?
I travelled here with a patient. She's been put on your list at postpartum cardiomyopathy.
Hey, you went back to emergency. Great.
So, how's it all going?
Well, I've done a formal brain death testing. I have to face the family next. So, how was it?
Oh, well, it was hard walking in, but I didn't get much time to think about it after that.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. Hey? Who is she?
Coral Johnson, 32, 1-month-old twins.
BP?
110.
Did get as low as 70.
Pulse?
120.
Urine output?
About 12 mils per hour. She's had large doses of inotropes, and of course she's got an IA balloon pump in too, but I wouldn't exactly say we're winning the fight.
No.
We've spoken to Dr. Lecky.
So she's on the emergency transplant list?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll just cross our fingers.
Well, what about that kid back there?
Yeah, similar weight and height, but I've got to convince the family that he's dead before I can talk to them about organ donation. Not many of them say yes to that. Shit.
What?
This. Me knowing about her, it's a conflict of interest. Well, I'm trying to convince one family that their son's dead, while I know there's a woman here who needs a heart within hours.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm going to have to declare it.
No.
Oh, Jamie!
Well, not yet. You do that and they'll never agree to organ donation.
I am not going to risk being hauled through the courts all over again.
Just keep talking to them. Don't push them and don't rush them. Just talk. Ella said she'd be coming here at the end of her shift. We'll see what she thinks, okay?
Yeah, okay.
We're not stalling, Joanne. It's a carefully considered position.
You wouldn't seriously take this to court.
Why not, if the law was on our side?
Can we just be a little pragmatic for a second?
What function does a nun's breast serve that its loss requires compensation? That's the issue. It was not intended to arouse desire in others, or enhance her beauty in the eyes of admirers.
Yes, thank you.
Or feed a child.
You've made your point, Miss Mackay.
I thought that above all we were being pragmatic.
If this ran to verdict, a jury, in my opinion, would award compensation for pain and suffering at the very least. That's being pragmatic.
But if the judge instructed them properly, they shouldn't.
Say the plaintiff had a crisis of faith and decided to quit being a nun?
300,000 is a very big ask for pain and suffering, Joanne.
But you're prepared to offer?
I just need a few minutes with my colleague, if you don't mind. No stalling, we just need to discuss where we are.
What do we do now?
Stall, make him wonder if we really are talking about taking it to court. And then we'll amble back in and offer 30.
Wendy doesn't have to declare conflict as long as she gets someone independent to do another formal brain death test and a neurosurgeon can confirm the result.
And so then she can't be accused of faking or rushing things to help a potential recipient?
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
How is Coral?
Oh, but the blood types match. B positive.
God.
Okay, I'll be back.
How's it going?
Found a heart yet?
Not yet.
Isn't there a bank of them or something?
Well, we wish, but things like hearts and lungs, they have to go from donor to recipient within hours, and that's why we bring Coral somewhere like here, where they do the transplant so that she's got a better chance.
But for her to get a heart, someone's going to have to die.
He was at death's door as a 5-year-old too. Doctor said he'd had it then and he pulled through.
I'm sure that would have been a very different situation, though, Mrs. Lowe.
She's talking about his head this time, Daphne.
People come out of comas, don't they?
With an unsedated coma, there is still brain response. But Luke suffered a very serious head injury here. I hope you understand that. It was very, very severe.
Yeah, we got that.
With everything I've seen and all the tests that I've done and all the tests the neurosurgeons did last night, I'd have to say he may well be brain dead and won't survive.
No, that's not true. He will.
You listen to what she's trying to tell us.
This has nothing to do with you. You don't even live with us.
Look, he's my son too.
He was your son when you walked out on us as well.
Jesus.
You didn't even touch him. You go in there and hold his hand and then you tell me. He's not dead. He can come out of this. He's going to be fine. He'll be fine. He will, won't he, Zeus? They don't know everything.
It's extraordinary, really, isn't it?
We indicated we'd reject it, of course. It's a token figure.
I meant the whole thing. Arguing the toss about interpretation. The word mediation seemed to promise something nobler.
Yeah, it can be a bit confronting.
I haven't had any experience of the law. The notion of arriving at a figure, any figure, to do with what happened to me is... it's fairly strange.
I'm sure we'd get a much fairer settlement in court.
I came into this believing I'd settle. It'd be a token apology. Not that money's an apology, let's not fool ourselves. But it would do some good. Only now, I have to tell you I'm as close as I've ever been to wanting validation and justice. Because I'm still a woman. No matter what they may say about the way others see me, I know what I am. And I know what it's been like waking every night for the past few months. Remembering waking after surgery that time. In my dreams, I'm whole again. That's nice, anyway.
Should I tell them we reject their offer?
I'd like to. Believe me. But then it all becomes about me, my ego, wanting revenge. I have commitments that come ahead of me. I fly out to the Philippines in 2 weeks. That money, $30,000, it would benefit an entire village.
I don't believe it's enough, sister.
Thanks for your help. But I don't want it going beyond today.
She's reluctant to go to court?
No, she won't go. So if we play the court card, it's a bluff. And if they're that determined to test this argument...
It means we'll have to take whatever's on offer on the morning it's due to begin. Is Bill that determined?
Amanda could be.
Well, nothing's ever easy, is it? Hoping we can get away quickly?
No more than usual.
I just don't think it's likely, that's all. Knowing Bill's form, I mean, it took him, what, half an hour to offer 30?
I know.
Good.
I've managed to drag Bill through 5 offers to 90,000. Given you'd indicated you'd drop to 100,000, then we can split the difference and call it 95 all in. You've got the moral high ground, they've got the law.
A court would give us twice that, Joanne.
You're not going to get a better offer today, Caitlin. If your client rejects this, the mediation's over.
What sort of a boy was Luke?
Oh, he's wonderful. Always makes me proud. Works hard, got a lot of good mates.
And what did he enjoy doing?
Oh, well, he loves his sport.
Watching it or doing it?
Oh, no, he gets in there. Plays a bit of everything. Cricket, footy.
Soccer.
He likes music too. I borrow CDs of him all the time. He's just like, sure, Suze, take it.
Should have brought some in for him. Might do that tomorrow. It'll be good for him.
He meant a lot to you, didn't he?
Yeah.
If they get any sense that I am rushing them.
You're not, though. You're doing great.
Except I happen to know there's a potential recipient just around the corner.
But they don't, though, do they?
No, they can't. It's not allowed. But, you know, even if it all goes okay, right? And then the Lows find out later that I knew Coral was here, they can still go for me over that. I mean, even if I do get an independent test.
Look, Wendy, these systems have been tested. You know, they work. Have you checked with the guys here?
Yeah. They said do another test and make sure the family's there to watch it and make sure I'm there so the family can see I'm not having any influence over it.
Right, so do that and no one can say you've got a conflict of interest.
Yeah, it sounds so nice, but people can just say whatever they feel like, can't they?
No, but the facts are with you. Any court would throw it out.
But what if the Lows still feel that I screwed them over? I mean, Tony McKinnon is dead because that woman still felt that you screwed her over. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Look, don't declare anything yet, okay? Why don't I give Hap a call and see what we can come up with?
Thanks.
Any more thoughts at all?
Do we have to talk about this now?
No. I'm sorry. Sorry.
You know, actually, I talked to Dr. Leckie.
About Medecins Sans Frontières? And?
He said it was tailor-made for doctors who wanted to work in the absence of a top-heavy bureaucracy.
I haven't had that much fun since they closed drive-in movies.
Anytime you think I'm worth more than you're paying me, Happy, just ask for a meeting.
Don't talk to me about being underpaid. Have you got any idea how much 4 kids cost?
You could send them to government schools.
Isn't it past your bedtime, young lady?
Anyone keep a secret stash of alcohol in this place?
In the cupboard in the conference room.
Thanks.
Ella called. She's at Prince Edward. It sounded quite urgent. She wants you to drop in if you can, because you can't get her on her mobile.
One problem.
I've already called Nancy. She said she'll start without you.
Oh, well, that's not unusual. Good.
And I followed up the case with the drill bits and the broken arm. The bad news is it was the doctor's first time trying that technique.
Klutz.
But the manufacturers of the drill bits did a product recall in the US 2 months ago after 74 bits broke in 1 week.
Many it's their fault, not our docs. It's terrific. Great work.
The file's on your desk.
Well done. See you Monday.
Corkscrew?
Left-hand drawer above the cupboard, I think.
No, not there now.
Try the first aid cabinet.
Charming. We work in a company with assets topping 300 million and we can't keep track of a corkscrew.
Okay, just confirming now. Luke's been given no sedatives for more than 12 hours and is therefore unaffected by any medication?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. A response to pain. Pupil vitals fixed and deleted. Okay, I've just taken him off ventilation for the moment. Now, I just want to get a small blood sample for testing. As we can see, Luke's making no effort to breathe by himself, whereas if he were in a coma, as opposed to being brain dead, we'd expect to see some attempt at unassisted breathing. Will I leave the paperwork with you?
Yes, I'll contact the transplant coordinator and tell him we might be getting some organs.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hey. There's a function at the Douglas tonight. I thought you might like to come.
Our relationship now is purely business.
I wasn't suggesting a dinner for two, Caitlin. I mean, it's a party. There's 15, 20 people coming. I thought you might like to meet a few of them.
No, you thought if I hadn't already arranged a date with Justin, it might be a nice little tactic to keep me away from him.
Right. Okay. Sorry I even asked, but I would never do that. Enjoy the weekend.
I just need to confirm that you understand that all the tests that we've done on Luke indicate that he is brain dead.
Yeah, we get that.
In that case, I'd like to know what you feel his wishes would be from here. I'm specifically wondering if he ever discussed with you organ donation.
What?
Do you know if he had an opinion on the donation of his organs?
I don't know. Daphne, I think he might have ticked the box on his license. You just don't think it's ever going to happen.
Can't we just leave him alone? Please don't put him through anything else, please.
Hi, Ray.
How are they treating her?
Well, she's getting as much support as possible.
Is it going to be enough?
She's getting the best care she possibly can. There's nothing else Dr. Rossi could do, Ray.
How do I work that into the conversation?
Well, just slip it in as a matter of course.
And that's a declaration?
Yes, it is.
Hi, thanks.
I've just been saying to Wendy that I don't think she needs extra protection against a possible conflict of interest accusation, but if you want to cover all bases, you can simply by letting the family know you know there is a potential recipient here.
And that would protect you against claims that you were holding that information from.
But it would be best to do that without ever stating explicitly that it was a conflict?
Correct. And if you like, you can let them know after they've agreed to the organ donation as well.
Which they haven't yet.
No.
You can't hurry them, though.
No, but don't drag it out, because the medical board come down heavily on doctors taking hours to talk families around.
Because they don't believe you were acting in your brain-dead patient's best interests. Instead, they believe that you were acting in the transplant program's best interests, which
Yes.
is not your job.
Take a period of time, not too long. If they keep saying no, forget it.
It's just the way you were talking about him earlier. He sounded like an incredibly generous person.
Yeah, he was.
What would you know? You hardly talk to him. I just want to leave him in peace.
Can I ask you what you feel that he might have wanted? You mentioned earlier that he loved playing sports. They were all team sports, weren't they? So it sounds to me that he was someone who wasn't so much into personal glory, more of a team player. Enjoyed company, enjoyed life.
Yeah. That was the Luke I knew. Well, he wasn't exactly a selfish kid, was he? I bloody well forgot his birthday one year, and he ended up blaming himself for not reminding me.
I didn't forget it.
Oh, look, this isn't about you.
I don't want these people hauling him off and taking this and that and whatever else.
you'd want to do it, Mum.
Yeah, I know. So, we have your permission for Luke to be an organ donor? I'm so sure Susan's right, and I'm so sure that Luke would have wanted your support on this. And I can tell you now, he is in a position to make a significant difference to several lives. He may even save some lives. There's even a potential recipient in this hospital he might be able to help. We're going to have to move Luke upstairs, so I'll get the official consent forms and talk to the organ donor coordinator. They've said yes.
Nearly there.
So how quick can it happen?
Well, she has to phone the coordinator first. It's still their call in the end.
Isn't the recipient in this hospital?
No, it doesn't work like that, Hap. We don't decide who gets what.
No, I see. You'd be playing favourites all the time, wouldn't you?
Coral's on the emergency list, but for her to get Luke's heart, she'd have to be on top of the list, and there could easily be someone else in another hospital who's in just as bad shape, who's a good match, and who is actually ahead of her.
Mm. If there isn't, we'll hear something in the next 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, and if there is, we hear nothing.
Mm.
Excuse me.
Mm. So,
Hey, how was mediation?
good. We settled for 95. Amanda, to her credit, got an implant hardball.
On the nun's mastectomy.
Yeah, she argued the loss of a breast in this case, given that the complainant was a nun who was celibate and childless, has no ongoing impact for which we were required to offer compensation.
And, what did Sister Donna think about that?
It was an extraordinary piece of legal reasoning.
So this is what happens when you leave two lawyers alone in a room together.
We had a job to do.
Part of which is compensating genuine victims of negligence.
Fairly compensating genuine victims of negligence.
95,000 on a totally unnecessary full breast mastectomy.
What would you prefer? We give her 95 million? As it turns out, the money is going to charity.
Oh,
so...
well then that's fine. It doesn't matter.
Look, OK, I accept your reservations. I think, personally, it was an excellent result. OK, I've got to go. Hope it works out here for you.
How long has it been?
7, 8 minutes. If she doesn't get this heart, can she live till they find another one?
Dr. Leckie just got the call and Coral's getting the heart. Do you want to tell him? You got the heart.
Thank you. No.
No, it wasn't me.
No, you gotta hear.
It's okay.
Well, this has got to make you think twice, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
No, Archimedes wasn't just a mathematician. See, that's what education does to us now. It puts us in narrow little boxes.
So we should all learn ancient Greek.
Oh, a view to the past is a view to the future.
Who said that?
Me.
No.
Wasn't it?
I've heard it before.
No, I think what you're hearing is the echo of the ancients.
Oh.
No, it's definitely Pythagoras.
Oh, saying what?
Saying the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares on the other two sides.
Seashells are more romantic.
Oh, no, don't listen to her. She's just a lawyer. You've got that time I went home, look.
Totally wrong. I was wondering what you were doing on the weekend and whether I should ask.
And what did you decide?
Do you want to do something on the weekend?
Yeah, what did you have in mind?
I don't know. Saturday? Sunday?
Sunday.
Can I pick you up?
I think you just have.
We're nearly ready.
When will you turn the machines off? I want to be with him when he goes.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Lowe, but because Luke's an organ donor, it happens in theatre.
In theatre?
That's right. He'll be taken in as he is. They'll start operating, and when they clamp the aorta, that'll be the time of death on the certificate.
Hang on. Can we change our minds?
We've already signed the papers, Daphne.
Please, Mrs. Lowe.
But if I'm not there to help him say goodbye, I don't want it to end like this.
Don't think about the time of death on the certificate as being Luke's actual time of death. If you just focus on what it was that made him Luke, you know, his smiles, his laughter, his words, his thoughts. He's already gone, Mrs. Lowe. He really has.
But can I just...
Thank you.
We've got a theatre. We'll be moving her in about 10 minutes. Okay.
Hello, I'm Ray Johnson. I just felt like I had to come and say thank you very much. It's cleared me a lot of troubles. I know how you feel.
Mrs. Lowe, if you just
Tell
stay
me.
here. It's all right. I just think that
Shit! Shit!
You can't let this go, Wendy.
You know how critical Coral is, right? It's a bloody miracle she's lasted this long.
You can't ignore it.
Why not? It's all about to go ahead. It's ready to go, right?
Do I have to quote your own words back at you, do I? If the donor family get obsessed with the recipient and start hassling her and she gets pissed off with the hospital and everyone finds out that you knew that they met and said nothing about it at all.
Okay, so what's the alternative here, okay? I tell Dr. Leckie, I tell the transplant coordinator, I tell the hospital lawyers, and it all gets delayed a whole other hour before anyone makes any decisions.
But you have to make it their decision.
Come on, they're not gonna not give her the heart. She's critical.
You have to follow the protocols, Wen.
Fucking protocols, fuck.
Just go and tell them.
You said it was going to be 10 minutes. What's happening? What's the hold up? What's going on?
I'm sorry, Ray, but something came up which delayed things for a little
Yeah,
while.
like what?
There were just a few things that we needed to look into.
Yeah, what things?
I'm afraid I can't expand on that any further.
I thought it was all arranged.
It was, and I promise you it won't be too much longer.
Dr. Rossi?
Yeah. Thanks, that's great.
Doctor, she's arrested.
Coral?
Right, move, doctor. Move, right.
Coral?
Flatten into bed.
3, 4, 5.
Coral!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. 2, come on. Come on. Come on, Carol. Come on. Hang there. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
You're not coming in at all. Wendy, if they'd accepted his death earlier, if they had agreed to organ donation from the beginning, it wasn't just the fact that they met.
I should have just shut up.
No, you shouldn't have.
Thanks, Jamie. That's so helpful. You know, I'm going to sleep really well tonight. Someone died, but that's okay because at least I followed the protocols.
You had to. It wasn't the only delay.
Oh, yeah, but it was the one I could have avoided, right?
It's gonna be weird going into your flat without you, Wend.
I want to stay at Mum and Dad's and tell them that I'm going nowheres.
Okay. So...
I'll call you about picking up my things. And you just do whatever you want about the lease, okay?
Wendy, please.
No, Jamie, I just, I gotta go. I just need something else. I can't. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm so sorry.